Are you gentlemen ready?
Ma'am.
I can't start early, it's 3:44. You hate that when you get to church and they started early and you're on time?
To be early is to be on time.
All right.
All right, 3:45. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm glad somebody responded. These some hardcore guys.
Good afternoon.
Before we get started, I'd like to take roll, please.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Rhodes?
Here.
Mr. McGookie? Not here. Mr. May?
Here.
Okay. Do you, can we stream him in since he's away, or you're not gonna bother with that?
No.
No?
We only need two.
They changed the law back to what it was. Everybody has to be present in order to participate in the
No more COVID.
discussion and votes now.
No more COVID.
No more COVID leniency.
All right.
Somebody changed the Civil Service Commission rules without us knowing?
That was a COVID rule.
State
That
law.
wasn't a civil
Okay.
service rule. Okay, let's get started with our agenda. First thing on the agenda is approval of the civil service minutes for October 20th, 2022.
They look good to me. I make a motion to approve them as recorded.
I second the motion. Any questions on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposes? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is the police request to certify the police list.
Sir. We recently gave our exam. We actually interviewed all the candidates today. We only have 7 candidates on the list, which is not just a trend here locally. It's a nationwide issue with finding qualified candidates and recruits. So we do have some open positions. We're looking to certify the list and start backgrounds and go about the hiring process as soon as we can.
How many openings do you have?
Right now, we're budgeted for 53. We have 47 full-time staff, so we potentially have 6 openings for 7 people on the list. Yeah, it's
This is a good year to be on the list, huh?
it's definitely trying times for us to make sure we're getting the proper candidate pool, so.
Okay. Any questions from anybody? Can I get a motion to certify the police list?
Well, Mr. Rhodes, I would like to say that number 5 was number 6, and he has moved up, provided the correct documentation to get the points that he received.
Are you able to tell us what it was that moved him up the list, or is that
He
a,
had a bachelor's degree, and he did not turn that information in, and when you have a bachelor's degree, you get 10% additional points, okay, based off of what his current score was.
regardless of what his major is? Was it in law enforcement or criminal justice, or is it?
No, it was biology, but he does get the credit for having a bachelor's.
Okay, so the list we have in front of us is correct.
Yes,
Okay, all right,
absolutely, but I have the official one that you'll sign.
okay. All right,
Thank goodness, because I doodled all over this one. I make a motion to approve the list as submitted.
and I second the motion. Any questions on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carried. Anything else, Chief?
If I may, with that approval of the list, we may exhaust that list potentially, obviously, with the openings we have and some background investigations. I guess I would just ask that if this list becomes exhausted and/or not viable anymore, we don't have any more viable candidates, that we would have some sort of permission to start another list almost immediately, rather than calling you back in for a meeting to talk about opening another list.
We need
If
a
it's
motion for
possible.
that. I'll give a motion for that.
Yeah, I'll move that we immediately start another list if this one fails to fill the 6 hiring positions.
Second the motion. Any questions on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carried.
Thank you.
If I could just add for just some context to that, obviously, we're struggling with candidates across the country. We've been trying to come up with some other way to have like a revolving list, or applicants just keep applying, and then instead of coming back to civil service, a lot of departments research it, and we're not able to do that. So unfortunately, this is the process that we have to go until we can get ourselves back up to staff. It would require actually a charter amendment in order to do what we'd like to do. So we appreciate the motion and ability. As you know, we're supposed to be considering 10 candidates for each of the open positions, and obviously with only 7 applying, then when it gets down to in 6, the rules are we can, apply for a new list. So I'm quite confident that he's going to get 1 or 2 off this list, and we're going to have to start immediately. And we'd like to do that because summer's coming.
Has the move to, forgive me, I don't remember what it's called, but to hire experienced officers from other departments, the
Lateral candidates.
lateral candidates, inter-service transfer, I was going to call them, but lateral transfer, has that yielded any results?
It yielded one candidate right now that we've already hired. She came with 8 years of law enforcement experience. Laterals, it's necessary, it's needed in law enforcement, but we were kind of already behind on that a little bit, so these laterals that went to other departments. And as you see people change, and, we're struggling with not just here locally, but again, Phoenix, Arizona's coming into Cleveland in 2 weeks, and, now it becomes not just laterals, it's we're going to give you signing bonuses, we're going to give you relocation fees. It's a constant motion to be as creative as an enticement as you can. So it is working. It's helped. I think we potentially have the opportunity to maybe get one more lateral too, depending on where things shake out for him or her, and we'll sort of go from there. But
I sure hope that we can support, the city government can support our police department robustly and aggressively to make us a great place for police officers to come to live and work.
they are. Our most recent collective bargaining agreement's the best around on our scale. So, we do have, and we have a draw here because we're a fairly large department compared to our neighboring agencies, so that's a draw too. The city administration, the city commission is of the utmost. They're very, very supportive. These new positions are coming with additional funds from Cedar Point to start taking on some more services there. So, we're just sort of catching up. But the process is nationwide. It's an issue with state. Cleveland PD, just for reference, they're down, I think, 300 officers. They're not even going to fill 200 of the jobs. They just came out and said because they can't find candidates anyhow. Their most recent academy for Cleveland PD has 13 cadets in it. So that's Cleveland PD scale. Now here we are at, 53 officers. They have 1,400. It's just what scale you're in. Laterals in Elyria, I know that they were looking for 20 spots in Elyria at Elyria PD. They had, I think, all total 8 laterals out of 20. Again, they're 105-member agency, so it's where we at in the scale. And
I'm not sure where we are in terms of our officers that are approaching retirement age. Do we have the authority? Do we have any sort of stop loss type thing, Mr. Orzak, that we can delay retirements or prevent retirements the way the military does?
No, we don't. After 25 years of service, they can retire. We don't have any way to not retire them. Fortunately for the department, there's no one that's like in the hopper to retire right now. So
we're good there.
We're good there. We had a bunch that retired in 2020 and 2021. So really the dilemma that we're facing is we have 5 positions that we have, are necessary for Cedar Point. Otherwise, we'd only be hiring 1 officer right now. So there's still a problem with the hiring, but we can't stop them from retiring once they're eligible.
So are you considering with the hiring, like other cities, incentives or anything like that to get these to come?
Yes, we actually applied for a grant through the state, through the governor's office, which was originally ARPA money from the federal government, where we have sign-on bonuses, $2,500. Again, we have the best pay around, and that was very, very thoroughly talked about during negotiations about we need to make sure we're drawing the best candidates. So we've done things like that. It's just every time you think you've got this part covered, it's something new, and somebody else is coming with some bigger and better package that we're like, oh, that's a good idea. You know, the way we draw is, again, we're a very professional and well-respected police department, even amongst the other police departments, but let alone in the community. So people want to work for us. It's really, the numbers in the academies are down. There's 12 right now in the Sandusky Career Center Academy. That's 12 recruits for everybody around. Fremont's down, Norwalk's down. The most recent academy, Ehovie, they didn't even know they were going to be able to have it because they didn't have 10. So every little piece, but it all comes down to that pool of candidates where when he tested, when he first started probably 25 years ago, there might have been 200 people taking the test, and these lists would last for years because you might have only had 3, 4, 5 jobs. It's not that way anymore. And that's where we're in a constant struggle of what we can do is be the best department, support our staff, give the best training, give the most opportunities. And we do have the most opportunities around too. I mean, just because of our level of numbers. So all that's there. The Justice Center is going to be big for us too, to be honest with you. We'll have a brand new building, another year and a half. That's going to be a nice draw. In the meantime, we're going to keep making sure we got the best. And if we don't, then we'll run with the numbers we have before we'll hire the wrong
And of course, the end of
candidates.
this is, you'll always maintain your standards.
Always. Because if you don't, then what do you have, right?
Man, it's tough.
It is.
All right. Next on the agenda, which we hope will give us some positive information here to get us out of the doom and gloom, our fire department. Request to give a lieutenant's promotional exam. Mr. Chief, what we got?
Yes, according to Local 327's contract, we have to give a lieutenant's exam every 2 years. The current list is going to be up July 21st of 2023. So there's some specific language in there that says that has the time frame for what we have to give the test. So we have to 60 days prior to the end of that list, we have to give the test, and we have to give 60 days worth of study time too. So I'm asking for permission to give a test today and hopefully have a start date to announce the test like the week of March 21st.
Can I get a motion for that?
Yes, but I didn't follow it completely. So we have to have 60 days of lead time.
Yeah, we have to give a test within 60 days prior to the expiration of the current list, and we have to give 60-day study period prior to the test. So it's 120 days from July 21st.
Okay, I got it. Backing it up from July. Okay, I make a motion to go ahead and give the lieutenant's promotional exam as scheduled in accordance with the timeline you've described.
And I second the motion. Any questions on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposes? Motion carried. Give us some good news here.
Well, I mean, we still have 32 people on our list, so we expect to hire probably 2 this year. 1 retirement because of time and 1 retirement because of a medical condition. So we have plenty of people to choose from, but that number of 32 is markedly down from like when I was testing 20-some years ago where there was 300 or so.
You can switch with the police.
I was going to say, you got any guys on your list that want
Sound
to
like you
move over to Chief
complaining
Oliver's
over here.
list?
We try. We try.
He can have probably 20 through 32 if he wants.
No poaching on another man's game preserve.
All right, anything else to come before the civil service?
So we'll probably have to see you around the end of May, because as Chief Mario said, we would be doing the test around March 21st. So after they test, then we'll need to come back and get that list certified with you. And then we'll probably be here for a police test as well, because we're gonna exhaust this list very quickly.
Okay, not till May?
Not till May.
All right.
I mean, unless Chief Oliver's list goes quicker, I mean, but it's still the time process. We still have to put the notice out, then advertise, and then give the testing procedures. So, yeah, probably May, end of May.
Our advertising, just so you guys are aware, there's email addresses that go to every law enforcement in the state. The OACP, which is Ohio Association of Chief of Police, they have a mass email. So we hit both of those. We've posted everywhere throughout the city, every community center, every church. We do that every time, and we also post in the paper for 30 days too. And we also are on the National Testing Network, and that posting goes up. So anybody can search on the web and just pick departments, So if there's better ways of doing that too, we try to be as flexible as we can when we hear of new avenues, but that's what we do when we're circulating.
Okay, who's our visitor back in the back, or who's our?
Oh, I'm just here from the law department. I'm Sarah.
Sarah?
The assistant law director.
Nice to
And
meet you,
standing in for
Sarah.
Brennan Heil, who's the law director.
All right, nice to meet you, Sarah.
Nice to meet you.
Are we doing everything lawful today?
I think so.
Started on time.
Good to hear. All right, Mr. Mayor. anything?
I'd like, no, I'm prepared to make a motion to adjourn if I'm allowed.
All right, I second that motion. Anybody have an issue with that? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you for coming.
My grandfather was a Cleveland police officer, and those server test back, he took it, and when you got offered a job, you got a choice, you want to be a policeman or fireman.
Thank you all. I have this list for you to sign as well, Mr. May. Here you go, sir.
But we won't lower the standard.
Okay. Close your door.
Do you all have this one? This was updated in 2021.
It was pretty entertaining, and our guy sent it to me.
Okay. Sounds good. How's your wife doing? Talk to her about once a month. She probably ain't happy with the
In the minutes?
18 months.
Everything's on sale, man.
She keeps telling me
It's
to,
perfect time.
she keeps telling me, keep taking my money out.
I just know it was somewhere in Rule 8 and.
Stock market's the only place people will get upset when stuff goes on sale.
That's a copy question.
That's the question. Okay, yeah. No, we just want to know if there was another book, if so, we'll get.
Rule 8 updated.
Yes. Yeah, so I can't be more specific. I'm
Okay.
not sure which is
Sure.
updated.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. May, I need your signature on the certified list.
Okay, I wasn't trying to call you out or anything.
Oh, no, that's totally okay.
I knew that.
I apologize. I was looking at our roster that Mr. Maguki wasn't present, and then I called you. Would you like me to discard of your agenda? Or you want to take it home with you?
No, I keep it.
Okay. Well, at least it's updated, so.
What's that?
Thank you very much, sir.
You betcha.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. So long, fellas.
I told her.
See ya.
That doesn't sound right. Watch it. I'll make her watch it before I see it, so she can brush it like you do watch it. I'm watching this. This is good.
It's still recording.
I have record off.